Players and dungeon masters, marshals and spellcasters, all creatures from criminals of petty thievery to those of a high-born scenery, monstrosities, beasts and aberrations, celestials, fiends, and other incarnations, roleplay enjoyers and rules lawyers. You hear all of you a sound in the distance. A subtle rumbling, or could it be a tumbling? A gentle pitter-pattering and scattering, or even a violent rattling of plastic, sometimes metal, unsettled while gleefully tossed with all fingers crossed, for know your skills are to be tested. And when these fallen pieces have rested, sitting in place and bearing one face with the results of your luck, oh fuck, you shout, as a natural one comes about. Or is your fortune aplenty? Did you roll a natural 20 and carve through that foe as though they were made of soft dough? The dice gods have determined your odds, and now we must reflect on our games. We dissect them here on our podcast. Oh, sod. Blast! Upon mental reflection, it appears my speech for this section has over time become plastered with rhyme, against my best intention. But alas, I am no poet, and to prove it, to show it, take a seat, put up your feet, and have a comfortable stay while we share what we have to say in this episode of Roleplay and Replay.
Oh my god, that was epic. I loved it.
Thank you.
That was a very good intro. Very well done. Woo!
I was like halfway through it and got to the line, results of your luck. Oh fuck! And I was like, this is genius. This is gold.
Amazing.
Welcome to episode 7 of the one and only Roleplay and Replay podcast. I say the one and only. Did we check?
I'm pretty sure we did. I can't remember.
I hope so.
I think we did.
No copyright infringement was intended. There we go. We're legally covered for anything. We're going to start this one slightly differently.
Yeah.
Pine, tell me a joke.
Okay. Why do rogues always wear leather armor when they're sneaking?
I don't know. Why do rogues always wear leather armor when they're sneaking?
Because it's made of hide.
Amazing. What's hilarious is that mine also includes a rogue.
Amazing.
You ready?
Yep.
I'm going to send you back to basically like a year 2 or 3 maths class. You ready?
Okay.
If the barbarian has 10 gold pieces and the rogue steals half of them, how much does the rogue take? 1d12 slashing damage.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And with that, we transition. What's our transition vehicle going to be today? Last time it was a jetpack, wasn't it?
It was.
We have to think of something. I know. We can transform into dice. Because the intro was all about rolling dice and the sounds of dice. We are the dice gods. We are the dice gods. Do do. We are the dice gods. Do do. No, I made a little jingle.
You know that natural one you rolled the other day? That was us! We were causing chaos!
Let's roll into DM discussions! Hee, I made a joke.
Yes. Well done.
Today, we're going to do something slightly different and not just talk about our own thoughts.
Blah, blah, blah.
We've done that classic content creator thing and stolen other people's content.
Yeah!
Except not really. Basically, today I have scoured the interwebs, by which I mean I did a Google search and took the first 4 results. And I found a number of lists of top 10 multiclasses in D&D 5th edition. 5th edition?
Five
5e. I
edition.
can speak. 5 edition. Welcome to edition 5. No, wait, that actually worked. Whatever. Anyway, I then collated them into a single list whereby anything that showed up more than once is at the top of this list, and anything that was near the tops of the lists is at the bottom of this list, if that makes sense. I've tried to accumulate some all of these lists into one. I can't speak today. This is going to go well. So yeah, these aren't our opinions, and there are in fact several classes that don't show up on this final list at all.
Ooh.
Including, but not limited to, Monk and Sorcerer, which is hilarious because those are my 2 main classes.
What?
Okay. So yeah, don't hate me. I tried my best. But yeah, we're going to go through them. We're going to talk about how they work mechanically, how they work in terms of let's min-max the game, and how they work in terms of roleplay.
It's going to be interesting for me as well, because I personally made the choice not to look at the list until it came to the podcast. So let's see what this says.
Would you like item number 10?
Yes, give it.
Item number 10 is what I would consider a very light dip, in that you main one class and then take a single dip, one level in another, just to get its level 1 benefits.
Ooh,
And that is...
Can I guess? Yes. The one level?
Go on.
Is it rogue?
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
Number 10 is maining wizard with a dip in cleric.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And the intention being, by them both being full casters, you don't ruin the spell slot progression.
Makes
and
sense.
Wizards are squishy. So let's give them some AC.
Okay,
Is the intent behind that. And then you also suggested, or one of the places suggested, taking the Cleric of Peace, whatever the subclass is called, I forget the name, for the Emboldening Bond feat, which lets you give creatures around you an extra d4 for d20 rolls.
Okay.
Limited by whatever it's limited by. I can't remember the details. So, you get a little passive buff. Your wizard isn't super squishy all the time. Don't need to waste time casting mage armor. Maybe even use a weapon if you like, depending on which class you start with. What do you think?
I think that's interesting. That wouldn't have been 2 classes I think I'd have put together. So, but it does make sense.
Hilariously, on those 4 websites, on one of them, this showed up as number 2. On another one, that website not only listed a top 10, it also listed a top most underwhelming, and this showed up on that list. So it's either amazing or terrible. Although the reason they list it as underwhelming was because apparently it sacrifices power for versatility. I don't know.
If you're only taking the 1 level in cleric, I don't think you're sacrificing that much.
Yeah. Plus, AC on a wizard seems pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
RP wise, I don't see any problems. He's just got to throw in a little tiny hint of religion.
Yeah, definitely.
A splash.
I think you find in most D&D games, tabletop RPGs that I've seen anyway, there is a heavy emphasis on, gods are real in this world, they have an effect, and that's, how clerics get their power and all that stuff. And so it makes sense for a lot of players and then people in the world to have some form of religion. So, yeah, definitely.
The stats don't quite line up. A lot of the ones later in the list work really well because of the stats in common.
Okay.
But, if you're only using 1 level in cleric, that does not. I forget how it works with spell lists. Does that mean you can only take level 1 cleric spells?
I don't think so.
Citation needed. Who knows? We know what we're talking about. We don't have to read all the rules all the time. Who can remember all of them? But yeah, that's a nice, easy one to get going.
Yeah, nice and simple.
I kind of like this guessing game now. If I tell you the main class,
okay.
Oh, actually, which one is the main class of this one? Okay, yeah. If I tell you the main class, can you guess the second class?
Okay.
First class, and to be fair, there's several of this on the list, so I'll give you a yes if you get one later, right? The main class is Barbarian.
Okay. So it's not going to be monk because that's already been taken. You've already said that's not on the list. I feel like the classic to go with here would be fighter.
That is later on the list.
Okay.
So yay, 1 point for you.
It's going to be something weird now, like warlock or something, isn't it?
Nope. Do you give up?
I give up.
The answer is druid.
Really?
All barbarian features can be taken advantage of while in wild shape. So you get extra HP in wild shape form, you get resistance to all damage besides psychic, and you can get advantage on pretty much all attacks and convert spell slots into healing as a bonus action if you take the Circle of Moon Druid with a Path of the Totem Barbarian.
Damn. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a tanky build.
Yeah. Plus the healing and the HP and the damage. Oh yeah, so much.
Yeah.
And scary as well. Barbarians are like a scary animal-like things anyway. Now throw in the fact that it can turn into a fucking owlbear. Rawr. Yeah, so that's terrifying. And again, I think it's kind of... I guess I'm not fully... I haven't fully dived into the lore of druids because they're not really a class I've ever been massively interested in. I don't hate them or anything. But what I get from the word druid in terms of what it's inspired by, I don't see why they couldn't be barbaric in any way. They're pretty much nature-y wild folk, right? Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, if you've got like a community of druids, they each going to have different skill subsets, which leads well into multiclassing. So, yeah.
We will actually get to some interesting ones RP-wise. It's just these first few are quite simple.
Well, with you saying you don't really know druids, one of the first things I'll tell you is I'm pretty sure rules as written you can't turn into an owlbear, but, you know, D&D movie, fun stuff.
Fucking an animal out of my head. Oh yeah, true. I actually watched that last week. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Fun times. Love the paladin in that film. And speaking of paladins, paladin is the next main one. Guess what the subclass is?
Oh no. Paladin and...
I'll give you a massive clue. This subclass shows up 3 times on this list. What is the most common dip?
Fighter.
Uh-huh. You're right, it is an Echo Knight fighter.
Okay.
Which is topical because I intend to take that very multiclass, or I have been taking that very multiclass for Valnot in our Friend Forest campaign.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Paladin Fighter. Oath of Vengeance Echo Knight.
Okay.
Benefits, both strength-based.
Makes sense.
Unleash Incarnate from the Echo Knight gives extra attacks without having to go super high level in Fighter, which means more opportunity for smites.
Yeah.
And greater weapon master damage if you take that. Plus, something about Oath of Vengeance, meaning you can designate advantage for all attacks against one creature once per short rest.
Nice.
Boss fights, a lot of advantage.
Yep.
A lot of smites. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. I mean, just bringing up smites recently. My character in my campaign called Smite, which is hilarious because he named that before discovering that paladins have smite spells. He just wanted to call it Smite.
With you just saying, like, think of all those smites, and in my head for a second I just thought of like lots of mini smites. The character.
Yeah, he literally was fighting, I wouldn't call it a boss, but certainly a difficult encounter.
Yeah.
In a situation where he put himself alone, and then both of them were missing each other for like 4 rounds. Maybe I think I got 1 hit in as the DM. And then he goes, I literally said the words, there's a crit incoming.
Yeah.
Smite rolls a crit, does, what was it, 52 damage at level 4, level 5, whatever level you are.
Level 4.
52 damage at level 4 because I use beefy crits with a Divine Smite. And basically does 90% of this guy's health in one go. So imagine that with extra attacks and advantage all the time.
Damn.
Yum, yum, yum. And paladins are already like basically knights anyway.
Yeah.
So again, RP, knight plus knight, beautiful. Very beautiful. You have anything else to say on that?
Not Really, these are at the moment. These are classes I haven't particularly delved too much into, but they definitely seem like more tanky stuff at the moment. Hard hitters.
Well, we've got another even harder hitter coming up. Maybe even harder hitter. If I said the base class was once again Paladin.
Barbarian?
Nope.
Cleric?
Nope.
God damn it.
I gave you one clue earlier, being that it shares a base stat.
No, I give up. I don't know.
It's Paladin plus Hexblade Warlock, which means you can do Charisma and Spellcasting with one stat, so you just max out your Charisma and holy shit. I mean, this, what showed up in other lists as well was basically Hexblade Warlock plus any Charisma class. So technically sorcerers are on this list, which is, wink wink, something that we're going to be seeing in Erethol's future. But also something that showed up recently, again in Forest Campaign, in the form of our friend Jar Jar's new character, who is Hexblade something. What was the something? I've forgotten.
Very sorry, the Hexblade Warlock, isn't he?
He's Hexblade Warlock, but I can't remember what the other class was.
Oh, I'm not
Anyway, he we had a little fight just to get his character tested. Turns out his character's minimum damage once he set up his Hexblade curse is equal to my character's maximum damage. That's how overpowered this class combo can be.
Yeah, but he's had 2 characters die in that campaign already. The only person to have 2 characters die.
Only person to have any characters die.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and it's been him twice.
Yeah, my character died, but it kind of came back on a fluke. But yeah, he's the only person to lose.
Stay
characters.
Dead. That doesn't count.
Yeah. So
also, I was saying that I'm not actually complaining. I'm quite happy with my character, but also that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage.
But yeah, Hexblade Warlocks do seem to be a very fun choice for multiclassing. If you take first couple levels. I have been bothering Pine a lot the last couple of weeks when I suddenly decided Erethor uses a sword and he likes swordy stuff and he's kind of deep and dark and mysterious. Maybe he could be enticed by something. And I was just like, Pine, can I be a warlock?
But yeah, no, it's definitely fun for me at the moment.
Because I don't know what the consequences of it are, but equally it means, because we've been talking about this, I might be able to use my favourite spell in the universe at the moment, Shadowblade, in conjunction with the whole pact weapon idea as a little homebrew rule.
Yep.
Maybe. Who knows? You haven't told me yet. We'll find out.
We'll see.
Follow this space.
I've got plans.
Oh no, not plans.
Got
not
plans
DM plans.
Schemes.
Evil DM laughs. Right.
We got off topic.
This is the one you already guessed.
Okay.
Barbarian Fighter.
Yes.
And they've gone with Echo Knight again, because it means extra attacks without going too high. It means extra fighting style. It means all of the really fun early fighter perks like Second Wind and Action Surge. And yeah, I mean, Echo Knight is good for all of the martial classes, so why not give it to the heaviest, chunkiest hitters?
Yeah. So, Echo Knight, right? That is the one where you create a second version of yourself, correct?
Uh-huh. And Unleash Incarnate. Oh no, all attacks can come from the Knight, I think.
Okay.
And then you can Unleash Incarnate to do another one.
Okay.
Up to, I think, is it your proficiency bonus or is it something else? Might be your, whichever skill modifier it is. A couple of, like 3 or 4 per long rest or short rest.
Right.
Extra attacks. This one did actually come with one con. And that is, you lose level 20 bar perks, which are quite considerable because it gives you the opportunity to get your strength and con up to 24. It removes the 20 limit.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So this is amazing if you're not going to go all the way to level 20. If you are going to level 20, then apparently. Because yeah, I've actually seen that level 20 strength and con come into play, level 24 stuff. Because there's a barbarian in Original Rois, High Rollers, Ayla the Wild Elf, and recently they leveled up to level 20 and they're doing fights and Mark's like, give me a strength save, and she rolls. And he's like, I've got this super ability where if I roll under 24, it becomes 24. And I'm like, what? All of your strength savers are just automatically 24 or higher. How do you ever fail any?
Oh my god.
That's some ability.
That is some ability.
But yeah, if you're not going for that, then throw in some Echo Knight. Fun times.
Yeah.
I mean, barbarians, in my eyes, already are fighters. So again, we haven't got into anything completely complex RP-wise. Oh, actually, rewind. What am I on about? Go back one. Paladin Warlock, that's a crazy RP thing. You've got a divine guy who's like, here's your divine powers, be just and true and all that stuff, depending on what subclass you are. And then you've got some weird mysterious thing who's like, here, have some more powers and obey me. And it's like, whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, so that is fun because you can have the opposing forces have consequences. But it could be made easier as well if there are both forces that are aligned. So it completely depends how you want to play it. But yeah, you could have.
I feel like I would, as a player, I would prefer it if they were opposed, unless the two deities / entities were not only aligned, but like, imagine if, just say to pull an example out of my arse, imagine if Zeus was your paladin divine guy, whatever the word is, and then your warlock patron was like Hera, or whatever her name is in. So they're literally married and like all related really strongly in some way, and then somehow in the universe something happens to one of them.
Ooh.
If they were equally aligned, I would want something like that to happen. Some kind of conflict.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that's very cool. I like it.
Otherwise, yeah, I'd rather they be aligned against each other so that there's, again, conflict. Because this is easily the most interesting RP-wise on the list.
Yeah.
I think. Which is just, yeah. Just imagine. Just imagine. I mean, Warlocks already introduce a whole lot of tension, especially if they have any sort of nefarious, not necessarily evil, but nefarious plans or consequences that the person might not like.
The other fun thing about this is, you remember at the start of my games when you first made your character, and I was like, look, there's this optional rule, you can have a quirk that comes with a talent and a flaw.
Uh-huh.
One of those quirks is possessed.
Uh-huh.
So if you could literally like have it as you are a single person, like a host, and you are possessed by two different entities that are granting you these two different powers, and it's literally like an internal struggle between the three of you.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
That'll be so fun. Writes down. Obviously, I'm stealing Hexblade already, so I'll have to pick a different Warlock subclass for if I ever do play this character, but I want to do it now.
Yeah.
But yes, rolling forward in time again, Barbarian Fighter, I don't really think you need to do any extra RP over that, really. They're two very martial classes that don't clash at all.
Yeah.
I guess Fighter is just a bit more sort of trained about it, in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas, Barbarian is Hulk Smash. So this multiclass is just Hulk Smash with finesse. Hulk Smash gracefully.
With precision. With fancy footwork.
Right. Our first one on the list, where the base class... Actually, I think this is one of the ones that could go either way, but I'm going to say, just for interest's sake, the base class here is Bard.
Okay.
What do you think the second class is? I keep calling it subclass, that's the wrong term, but you know what I mean.
My immediate to go for is Rogue.
That's just because that's you.
I know. It's because Bards and Rogues go together for me really easily.
I see in my head that clashes, because a Bard, I mean, just taking them as stereotypical, not ignoring all of the subclasses. Bard wants to be in the spotlight, like la la la, look at me, I'm amazing, and Rogue wants to be in the shadows.
However,
dual identity, interesting character. I like it. Sorry, carry on.
If you think about it though, as well though, you've got in some games and history and stuff where bards and performers were actually spies.
Vigilantes.
So they go together for me because it's like a performer, nimble, with But you can get into places easier because people will just let you in.
Pine. Related to that, imagine a vigilante. You could have a bard with a secret rogue identity.
Oh my god, yeah.
Who's like a superhero. Oh, I love it. Anyway, that's completely not what we're talking about because that's not the actual option. Although now I wish it was. No, this making Paladin on the list for the third time.
Oh, wow,
Paladin.
really?
Because
charisma caster, I suppose.
for first, double charisma, and for another, you get higher level spell slots, which you could still use on smites, apparently.
Huh.
Or at least you get the higher level spell slots faster. I can't remember the exact details, but
yeah.
And also, if you take Paladin up to 5, you get extra attack, which you don't normally get with Bard. So more attacks, more charisma, mega smites. That's what I've written down here. Gotta love the mega smites.
Yeah, no, that's.
If you're a paladin and you're not smiting, you're not paladin writing. That's right. I'm talking to you, Danny. That's right. Strawthorn in Pine's campaign. I don't think he's smitten once. Smote? Smate? What's the word? Smitten doesn't seem right.
Smitten. He hasn't bestowed a smite upon any of his enemies. But that's fun because if you were to do that as well for the RP reasons, you could have a paladin order that's like a band. Well, not like a band, but like performers. Or you could go another way and be like, you've got in armies and stuff like drill captains. Your bardic inspiration could be like your voice and like the drill captain's voice commanding.
I was also thinking of the classic bard role where you literally, the idea is you go off to witness the adventures and then come back and write about them, like the classic example of Dandelion / whatever his real name is in The Witcher.
Jaskier.
Jaskier, that's the one. Let's skip my head. Except when you're a paladin, you don't have to just be there timidly. You could be right there in the front lines.
Yeah, it's true.
And then come back and tell the story. So yeah, that works quite well as well.
Yeah.
Bard smash! Smite! I know what I mean. So there's 4 left. And I'll give you some fun clues.
Okay.
2 of them include rogue and 2 of them include cleric.
Okay. Do any of those relate?
Well, I mean, number 3 is cleric rogue. I'm giving it away now. But we're on number 4 first, which is, well, you guess. I don't actually know which is the main class. Let me see. Actually, read which one's meant to be the main class. I'm going to tell you it's one of the rogue ones.
Okay. And
apparently, this is a very classic one. So much to the point, it's got a name. It's got like a little nickname in the community.
Oh, I want to say roguelock then, but probably not. Nope. Is it another martial class?
Yes.
Is it rogue fighter?
Yes. Yeah. This is apparently called the commando build.
Okay.
Where, actually, fighter is the base. I remember now because I just looked at it. Where you play an assassin rogue and a battlemaster fighter.
Okay.
And you use all of the rogue abilities to get super mega crits and all of the fighters to get super mega attack counts. And so then you can get super mega counts of crits, just all the crits. Because you get loads of advantage for anything that hasn't taken turn yet.
Yeah.
So basically, this relies entirely on trying to surprise enemies for the assassin stuff.
Okay.
If you can surprise them and then use all of your fighter billion attacks in one go, you have a massive chance of getting loads of crits, and boom.
I have a question.
If you get fully lucky, you can get up to 7 critical hits on one surprise round in a row just by level 14.
Okay, so let me just check. This is very cool, but does it require you to surprise, or does it just require you to be able to use sneak attack damage? Because that's 2 different things.
I've literally just written down what I saw on the page, and it said, let's just Google it now. Assassin rogue. Starting at 3rd level, you are your deadliest when you get the drop on your enemies. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet.
Oh, okay.
So either surprise rounds or being high in the initiative.
Okay, cool.
Oh, in addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a crit. That's the main bit.
Oh.
So if you do get a surprise, you use all of your fighter attacks with advantage. Boom.
And crit.
With advantage, so you just have to get the hit and it's automatically a crit, and boom, it's like 5 billion damage.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So yeah, that's why it relies heavily on the surprise bit.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's a lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
I think that should be the title of this episode. Title obviously needs to include top 10 for that YouTube clickbait. RP, discuss.
I
I mean, as I was saying earlier, fighter is meant to be like a trained martial, right?
Yeah, I was thinking if you were to do this, then for RP, I would think if you're straight away going into it, you could have been part of like a well, yeah, obviously trained assassin.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Organization, whether you're still with it or whether you've split off. Yeah.
Pine suddenly decides to play a character from her favourite video game series.
Assassin's Creed in real life, let's go!
Hooray! Yeah, I think it could work. There's options. I feel like it doesn't necessarily fit together like a jigsaw like some of the others have.
Mm.
And there isn't necessarily anything clashing. It's more, yeah, there's a few avenues there.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
could be interesting.
Definitely a highly trained 4 damage for getting those weak spots.
And then even once you have done the surprise stuff, like you said, you can just back off and get a surprise attack if you can.
Yeah.
Sneak attack even, not surprise.
Yeah. Well, you can get sneak attack just by having another ally within 5 feet of you.
Yeah.
So, I think, if I'm right, you get advantage for that or something. I can't remember, but yeah.
There's stuff to be done.
Yeah.
I already gave away number 3. Cleric Rogue.
Cleric Rogue. This is an interesting one for me.
This is the second of our... Well, not second, actually, because we've had all of the Echo Knight fighters. This is the third of the dips, where this essentially what all the places, all the websites said, take any of your cleric subclasses of choice and just shove 3 levels of rogue in for swashbuckler.
Okay.
First of all, rogue gets loads of proficiencies in early levels.
Yep.
So yay. And also all of those fun little action options, like fancy footwork from the swashbuckler. Cunning action, is it?
Yes, yeah.
Things like that. So you just get a whole bunch of more options in combat.
Yep.
All of the proficiencies. Fancy footwork is great because clerics can be sometimes squishy, not always. Obviously, they can get good armor and stuff, but if you choose one that doesn't have high armor class, then it could be a bit squishy. And it's just all great utility stuff for a cleric.
That makes sense.
And now we get to the RP. A sneaky divine person.
Yeah, could you imagine though, like having a religion that is like maybe a dark religion of, well, I'm first thinking is assassins, but just a religion that relies on combat and like taking down your enemies and hiding in the shadows.
I believe you're describing a cult.
Maybe.
They are. This is the cultist class. We've named it. Not necessarily. Swashbuckler. No, I guess it kind of works. I don't know. Yeah. Again, it's not one that necessarily fully clashes, but not one that fits together like a jigsaw, as I said. It's another one of the interesting ones where you have to think about it.
Yeah, definitely.
To make it work, rather than just be like, yeah, why not? Obviously, this is all if you actually care about that kind of stuff. If you're just playing the game to hack and slash, then do what you like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you guess this one earlier? I can't remember. This is another. Wait, let's just check again which one is the base. I think cleric is the base. If not, then I'm an idiot. But guess what the second class is?
Cleric Warlock?
Nope.
Cleric Wizard?
Nope.
Damn.
You've gone through all the other casters. Try the last one.
Paladin?
That's a half caster.
Fuck. Bard.
I forget that one counts.
Druid.
There we go. I always forget that the bard is a full caster. I don't know why. I think it's because I've never actually seen a high level bard.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Cleric Druid. Specifically, cleric with the thingy-majiggy of Disciple of Life. The life cleric with the Disciple of Life feature. So obviously this needs at least level 4 for that feature. Or is that just one of the features you get anyway? I don't know what I'm talking about. Specifically, you need to choose the Disciple of Life feature. And then it goes well with the Goodberry Druid spells. This is mostly... There's two parts of this. There's one specific part, which is about this Goodberry thing. And then the second bit is just the fact that clerics and druids have all the utility. So, first of all, clerics and druids have all the utility. And second of all, if you have the Disciple of Life feature,
then all healing increases by 2 plus the level of the spell that it originated from.
Ooh, okay.
And if you cast Goodberry at first level, you get 4 points of healing per Goodberry you summon, and there's 10 Goodberries. So that's 40 healing points for a level 1 spell slot.
That is good.
And obviously you can upcast it for more.
Yeah.
But 40 healing at level 1 for a level 1 spell
That's impressive.
is pretty cool. And then again, like I said, plus all the utility. So this is the best support multiclass, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it, definitely.
And again, with druids being those naturey, I'm just going to say naturey people. I don't know any other words for it. I'm not very, I spent all my vocabulary in the intro, all right? Yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't have a particularly religious. It's quite classic to have a religious druid, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I remember the druids in the BBC hit TV show Merlin all seemed pretty clericy in a way. Maybe they didn't look religious and they didn't wear robes and religious symbols and stuff, but they were all, I don't know. I get the vibe.
Oh, yeah.
You get the vibe?
I get the vibe. It's a good vibe.
Good vibe. Very good vibe. And we come to our final one. I just want you to straight up guess this one.
Oh, God.
I'll preface this with it came first in one of the lists and showed up of two of the other lists. So it was on 3 lists and came first in one of them.
Bad luck.
Nope.
Is it a martial or a spellcasting one?
Very much leaning towards spellcasting.
We haven't had wizard yet. Is wizard one of the classes?
It is.
Okay.
I'll give you another hint. We haven't had the other one either.
Oh, damn. What was the other one I haven't? Brain, go through all the classes.
Inside Pine's mind. Do I put you out of your misery?
Yeah, because you're saying there's one other one that we haven't used, and my brain's just thinking, well, we haven't done Artificer or Blood Hunter yet, so...
It's Artificer. And I didn't say it was one, I just said it's one of the ones we haven't used. Yeah, Artificer Wizard. Yeah. This is another specific one, so you have to specifically choose the subclasses.
Okay.
But it's described as the one character party.
Okay.
And that's when you take the Battlesmith Artificer with the Conjuration Wizard.
Okay.
The Artificer side lets you summon a Steel Defender companion,
Okay.
which is just a nice entity that can fight and defend for you. You get a whole bunch of defensive spells. You get shield quite early. You can also buff your allies. And because you're a Conjuration Wizard, you conjure another friend who gets a whole bunch of boons, like a bunch of temporary hit points, and you can't lose concentration on it through taking damage once you're high enough. And boom, throw in like a, what's the word? What's that weapon spell? I don't even know if Wizards can get it. Wizards might not be able to get it. The one that Cardi B always used. Which out of context is going to sound hilarious on the podcast.
Spiritual weapon, yeah.
Spiritual weapon, suddenly look, you've got 4 sources of attacks on one turn. Depending on how many of them need bonus actions to direct, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But still, the one character party.
Damn.
What do you think?
No, that's definitely interesting. It might get annoying for other players at the table.
True.
But
I mean, I say the one character party. It's not literally designed to be
Yeah.
one person goes on their own, but it's a lot of. I guess it's in a way it's potentially a lot of action economy
yeah.
bonusing.
It makes sense as well, though, because if you've got a wizard, it can very easily be that they're working on arcane instruments and artificery type stuff. So
Yeah,
I definitely think it works.
RP wise,
Interesting.
it certainly fits. I think.
Yeah.
You can just picture a wizard in a wizard tower tinkering with his wizardy things.
I'm a wizard.
That's not a euphemism. Or it can be a euphemism if you want it to be, but you can write that fanfiction yourself. That's, I was going to say our top 10, but it's not our top 10. That's Google's first 4 results top 10 multiclassing in 5e. In a nutshell.
Amazing.
How fun was that?
That was good fun. That was definitely interesting. It's I do find it fun sometimes reading these top multiclassing lists, because I enjoy a good multiclass. And
well, I was going to say, in both of the campaigns we're both parts of, albeit players or DMs, we're the only multiclasses. Am I right? No one else multiclassed yet?
people have multiclassed in mine, but you guys haven't seen that yet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say we're the only multiclassers. I haven't actually multiclassed yet. I'll be multiclassing next level. But anyway, point is, we like multiclassing. I was going to go over ours quickly. I'll go through mine first because they've basically both already come up.
Yeah.
I've got Monk Fighter, which I'm actually going to turn on its head and become Fighter Monk. I think I'm going to take more levels in Fighter than Monk.
Okay.
The idea, actually being RP-led, is that because he was kicked out of his monk monastery, which I don't actually know if I've told everyone yet, spoilers, he's kind of like disenfranchised with the whole monk way.
Okay.
He's got all these base skills and he's become an astral self monk who can channel his spiritual energy and stuff. Don't know how far I'll take that. But he's finding that, some of the fighter aspects are more his thing.
Okay,
So
cool.
he's going to take more classes than that. Certainly going to get Echo Knight because I've already got an item as his character that lets me summon a different Echo that can also channel my attacks. So I'm going to be a different kind of one character party eventually because I'll have 2 Echoes. It'll be amazing. And I can do like 5 attacks with, Flurry of Blows and Unleash Incarnate and extra attack and double extra attack if I get that high, if we get as high as level 20. That's like, boom, all the attacks.
Does that mean Erythor's not going to go down as much? Not
Do you mean
Erythor, Valnut, yeah.
Well, who knows? It means he's going to go into the front line even more, so probably not. Although, maybe it'll be his Echoes that go down. Who knows?
Maybe.
And then the other one, again, which we've already mentioned, is Erythor, my baby boy, who so far has been a pure sorcerer, but then I realised, we've discussed on this podcast before, both of us love spellcasters with weapons. Magical weapons. And I was like, oh, Erythor, he loves Shadowblade. I love Shadowblade. Pine, can I convince you to give me a ranger spell that lets me use Shadowblade with cool stuff? Yeah, amazing. And I thought, why not take it all the way and just make, Hexblade?
Yeah.
Amazing. And again, we've already talked about the RP opportunities with it.
Yeah.
And
I
already love him, and he's not even here yet. He's in the future.
Yeah. See, this is the other thing I love about multiclassing is we've talked about like generalization, like multiclassing and how you would take those things and bringing in characters that already have those multiclasses. But it's being really fun for me when people are like, oh, I'm thinking about multiclassing. And I'm like, okay, what you think of multiclassing into? And how are we going to make this like story driven for an explanation of like how you get these new abilities and what happens? And so it's definitely been some fun writing times for me.
Yeah, that is a good point, actually. Obviously, it depends on what kind of player style you have, but for me, not planning on it was way more fun.
Yeah.
If I'd gone into these campaigns like, oh, I'm going to pick 5 levels in Sorcerer and then go over to Warlock and take some 3 levels in Hexblade, blah, 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 then I don't know, as it happened, it would have been boring.
Yeah.
I would have been, yay, I've got that ability I planned on.
Yeah.
But just letting the character evolve and then thinking, holy crap, Erythor's been using this Shadowblade a lot. Plus, he's already this kind of mysterious figure with all the charisma saves and scary past and stuff that, for all I know, you've completely rewritten since I said I want to be a Warlock. I don't know. Oh no, the evil DM love. It's a discovery, and that's all of what D&D is about. Discovering a narrative together.
Yeah.
We've discovered this multiclass rather than planning it. The ones we've gone over, I think, have been more about planning, but yeah, that's why I thought I'd bring in our own players ones. Speaking of, talk about your 2.
So I'm going to start off with the multiclass that I always had planned on multiclassing, because I believe we brought them in at level 2 in yours, so I came in as a monk ranger.
Are you a monk ranger or a ranger monk? I've never actually asked you.
Ranger monk, sorry. But I find it really fun because a lot of things you will see online and like people will say that monk and ranger are 2 of the worst classes.
That is true. I mean, like I said at the beginning, they didn't show up once on the list.
Yeah.
Even though I should actually point out, they showed up on the individual lists.
Right.
They just always showed up near the bottom and none of them were in common.
Okay.
Which to me suggests that people can't make their mind up and it's all personal.
Yeah.
Hence why that's what you like.
Yeah. So it's a very personal build. So the way I build characters is I base it on the kind of RP and like background and everything that I want the character to be. So Amnesty is essentially, I think this is known knowledge now, but she is a bounty hunter. That is her past. She goes around hunting people. So there isn't like a bounty hunter class. So what I've done is I've taken a mix of ranger and monk and like build my own sort of bounty hunter thing. And the thing I love about it as well is it's got the range stuff, but she's also good in close combat.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a mix of both, so she can like pick off a target at range, but also like can hit hard when close in combat. And the other thing, there's an alternate. This hasn't really been brought up, but I might as well bring it up now. There's an alternate set of rules that at like 2nd level or something for ranger. You can make it so you don't cast any spells, like you're a non-spellcasting ranger, and that's what I've taken. So I have just all combat, all like fist fighting, and I just love it. It's so fun. Yeah, looking forward to building up the character past level 4.
I'm intrigued actually because I've just had a thought. We're doing these post or end of episode RP sessions. Last time, one of the last times we did one for me, you gave us in-universe reasons for my proficiencies.
Yes.
I'd be intrigued, beyond just obviously the organisation you're part of, to give you in-universe reasons for monk abilities.
Ooh, that's good.
Because monks tend to come from monasteries, and I don't think that's part of your backstory yet. I'm not saying it's bad, obviously. Yeah. There's plenty of options, but I'd be interested to see how that develops.
Yeah. The other thing about my character builds is I usually don't go for the usual, like, monks come from monasteries, right? Like, druids would come from a druid thing, but I like to mix things up a bit more and take the base class, but spin it. But yeah, so that is my monk ranger, who is overpowered. I didn't mean to be. A little bit.
Yeah, your unarmored defense is already higher than my significantly higher level monk.
Yeah.
Who's got like 4 monk levels, and you've just been like, oh, I've got like 2. Or whatever. Doesn't help that you asked for braces of defense, and I'm just like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I can't wait to get those. It's going to be great. But onto the other one that I thought was more common than it apparently is my bard rogue, Vinari.
I'm pretty sure this did show up on at least one of the lists. It just wasn't high up.
Yeah. So a rogue makes sense because of her background that I'm not going to go too much into. But she was originally just going to be a bard, just pure bard.
Mm-hmm.
However, the way that combats had been going, it didn't make... I don't think she would last very long if she just stayed as a bard. Like, yeah, because she does get hit. Like, as much as I try and keep her out of direct fire, she does get hit. Which doesn't make sense. So she like she is built to buff other people, but at the low level she is, like especially at level 1, it was like I got 2 spells, like that's it, and that's not going to last very long in a combat. So I had to give her a few more. Well, I felt like I needed to give her a few more bits and pieces, which is why I added the rogue in, so that she can contribute to combat when needs to.
Yeah. And on the topic you mentioned a minute ago of taking the character and putting a spin on it and not playing it traditionally, Vinari has amazing charisma and only uses it when the party fucking forces her to.
Yeah, because Vinari, like her backstory is people driven. Like she is very good at talking to people, like getting people to tell her stuff, just like communicating, interacting with people. But because of her past as well, she hates people. She
I just remember the first time you used it. We were like, it was mine, yours, and Danny's character. We were scouring a town after attack to make sure, see if there was any survivors. And we were like, Vinari, can you go and ask that officer if we can borrow XYZ? Yeah. And you did it, and then you rolled persuasion, you got like 28, and we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but she also finds it hilarious watching other people try and get through conversations, because a lot of the conversations seem to be driven at the moment by Gregor, who does not have very good charisma.
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, I have my fair part in them, but Valnot isn't particularly charismatic. He's more, he's wisdomy.
Yeah. But
obviously,
She is closed off, but I'm hoping as the games go on, she becomes more outgoing. Like, that is my aim. But we'll see how it goes. But my aim is for her to become more like happier in the group and
there's been some moments.
And yeah.
I mean, moments good and bad. There was the time when your little possessive creature stabbed me in the face, chest even. But then equally, there was the time recently on the boat where you wanted to go off and do some painting and Valnot wanted to go off and do some meditation. You had a nice little chat.
Yeah, we did. It was good.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Characters evolve.
Yes,
that's the whole point. But yeah, that's our multi-classes. And I love all of them.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, do what you want.
Yeah.
There's a way to make it work. And if you've got a good DM and you give them good backstory, it'll evolve into something really fun.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, the other thing I need to do today is finally write up the backstory I want to give to Forrest, because I've still not given him anything other than he was kicked out.
You need to get on that.
I've been saying that for like 4 months now. If not like the near year we've been playing that campaign.
Oh, bless.
I'm sorry, Forrest. It's nothing against you. I'm just really bad. I just struggle to put Valnot's history into words and stuff. It's weird.
Don't take it personally. He literally gave me nothing.
Oh, yeah. In fairness, when Pie started, I was like, Arathor doesn't remember anything.
Yeah.
The end.
I was like, can I have a backstory so I can work it in and like I can make
woke
stories.
Up in a hut.
Yeah, woke up the hut. The doesn't remember anything. The funny thing about that is as well, you were like, they've been roaming around Asmere for like 2 years. Hasn't given me any details about anything that happened in those 2 years.
Yeah, whatever you pick, it'll work. I mean,
yeah.
Our friend Jar Jar, again, he's the crazy one. He's got all the D&D experience in the party. He's DM'd since he was like 14 or whatever. He said as a joke after his second character died that he'd make a character that had every class as one level. Like, I don't know how that would work, but it'd be fucking funny.
There's a video on YouTube of someone who is like a level 16 something, and it's literally just like one level in every class. And
amazing.
He got a great backstory for the whole reason why. It's fucking hilarious.
Brilliant. Well, I think that about wraps up DM discussions, unless you have anything else to say.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Go multi-class.
Yeah.
Plan it if you like, or just let it develop. Don't bind yourself to the first class you picked if you don't want to.
Yeah.
And as one final note, actually, again, I always talk about my true hero, Mark Humes, who is generous in that he has actually let people retcon their classes. If they really don't like them, he'll write a way into the story for them to change.
That's pretty cool.
Because, there was a guy who was not wizard. He was cleric bard.
Okay.
And he got to the point where he didn't like any of the bard stuff. He only had 2 levels in it. And Mark let him retcon to become a cleric wizard instead.
I've heard a lot of people do that with warlocks, like breaking their pacts with the warlock and having a way out and like taking levels in something else. But yeah, it's definitely something you can do. We've got a DM willing.
Yeah. Again, if it fits the narrative as well, which there are ways to make it happen. And now we roll on in our dice forms to favourite moments. Do you have a favourite moment ready?
I do. I've got 3, but
You've got 3?
There's been too many good moments.
Mine also includes the number 3. I wonder if they overlap, but there's only one of them. Shall I go first in case mine is one of yours?
Okay, yeah.
So mine goes back to last Sunday, where Arathor and Srothan, his good old dragonborn paladin friend who never smites, and Eovath, the blood hunter orc, who has no charisma whatsoever, or does he? I can't remember. We're trying to get some information out of a dude, and he said, come back tomorrow. So we came back the next day. I was like, right, I'm going to have 3 plans to get information out of this guy. First of all, we're just going to walk in with good old persuasion tactics. Arathor's got a +7. He's not bad. Maybe Srothan can help. He's also charismatic. Maybe I'll get advantage. That was plan 1. Plan 2. Arathor has this discussion. He's got a big fuck-off dragonborn behind him and a big fuck-off orc outside. Bring the orc in. Intimidation tactics. Make the guy piss himself. Option 3 was I just leveled up to level 6 and gained the suggestion spell. All else fails, cast suggest and say, I suggest you tell us what we want to hear. So I was like, boom, 3 plans, can't fail. We went in, and Strawthan helped with this persuasion. I got advantage, rolled an at 20. And I just stood there like shocked, like, oh, it worked. I forgot to write down the information.
You forgot this. Oh, it was so funny.
So here we are, like half an hour later, chasing up the information and not doing it at all correctly, to the extent that Pine said after the session, don't you just hate it when your players forget stuff? And I'm like, what did we forget?
Oh, it's one of those situations where I'm like, do I remind you, or do I let you guys carry on? Because it may be that you do remember, and you guys are just like investigating on your own path. I don't want to come in and say, look, this is what you need to do. It's like you were supposed to do this. I don't want to do that.
I think the very, very subtle intervention of don't you hate it when your players forget things was exactly what it needed, because it wasn't that I literally forgot. I then went through the whole session in my brain and did remember that I didn't write it down. It was there in my memory. It was just one of those things where it was a 3-hour session. I'm not going to remember every detail in my head at the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like you didn't say, by the way, you forgot to do this or you heard this. You just said, think about it. And I did. And maybe next session we'll rectify it. Or maybe we won't. Who knows? So I appreciate that. Although for the hour that I was going through it, I did feel very frustrated with myself. I was like, damn it, Pine, why you got to do this to me?
Well, like I say, there was 2 things that happened in that session where I was
just worked out what the other one is.
I was just sat there going, why are people not picking up on this? Like internally, just like, this is important. No, it's not important, but this is really cool, and they're not picking up on it, but it's fine. Well, the reason
I have a clue what that is still.
Yeah, it wasn't anything that your character was involved with, so it makes sense. Somebody else may have picked up on it, but that other person is Jar Jar, so we'll see.
I don't know. Anyway, that's my favourite moment recently. Just me being an idiot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Love it. Your turn.
I'm actually going to take a player moment that you will not be aware of, as I'm going to talk about my baby girl Ember.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So Ember is a sorcerer, and I've been playing this character since before I started DMing for you guys.
Hashtag Ember and Erythor be best buds.
Yeah. She is my little ray of sunshine who was then corrupted by the darkness of the world and realised how bad everything was and is constantly having an existential crisis now. But she was the one who had the amnesia background. And...
Wait, they have that in common as well?
Yep.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that.
Yep.
That's amazing.
So she didn't remember where she came from. The first thing she remembered was running through a forest, like hearing a voice like telling her to run, and she just ran, and then like found a village, lived like 5 years. There was 4 years in between her like first remembering, like first having memories, and then where we are in the campaign. And she I gave a little bit of description to our DM about the kind of situation that I think might have caused her to lose her memory, which was essentially an arcane device that went haywire and like just leaked out loads of energy, and she got told to like run away because it was like killing people essentially around them. And that was also how I imagined her getting her sorcery powers. So yeah,
so she's radioactive man in sorcery form.
Yeah, basically. But we found more devices, and there was a whole thing, and then these devices also exploded. We got thrust 1,000 years into the future.
What?
Where Ember is from.
What?
So that was...
And did you know that bit?
No, I did not know that bit.
That was entirely
That was
a shock. Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
So yeah, we got thrust forward in time, and basically it's like apocalyptic world. Like there is no sun, been taken over, and the one person she remembers, the person who made the machine that thrust her back in time to begin with, she had a spur of the moment and sent a message to him, and they had a bit of a reunion. She tried to punch him in the face and asked what the fuck he was doing. And basically we've got to figure out a way to get back in time to prevent all this shit from happening. And Ember is a sorcerer who has 2 sorceress origins.
Ooh.
That I did not think would have any consequences whatsoever, but fuck you, Steel. No. So she's shadow magic is her first one, but she's also aberrant mind sorcerer. Yep.
Do our characters have any more in common? Are you going to go back? Am I going to discover in like 5 months' time that Erethdor is from 1,000 years in the past?
I'm not revealing anything. But so, and I told Steel right at the beginning that I wanted Ember to have like warring factions in her. Like the shadow magic is like fighting, essentially, like her good nature, and it's like a constant fight with the darkness. And he made that an actual fight between the aberrant magic and the shadow magic inside Ember that we've now recently revealed. But to get back in time, the best way to do it is to power a Kyber shard with one of those forces of magic, which would be giving it up and becoming fully either giving up the light, essentially, or giving up the shadow and fully embracing the other. And it is such a hard decision to make, and it's tearing me apart, like, but in the best way. Like, all of this drama and stuff that's happening, I'm like, oh my god, I love it so much. Like,
it reminds me already of Mark Humes's and also your favourite word, consequences.
Yeah.
Also, for the record, I was 100% paying attention, but because you've turned me into a dice goblin, I've just been just passively rolling 2 d20s this whole time. And literally at the beginning of that speech, I did my first roll and got 2 nat 20s.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's irrelevant, but oh my god, that's amazing. Also, I had no idea Erethdor and Ember had so much in common. For the record, listeners, I didn't know anything about Ember when I was making Erethdor. Ember is way older than Erethdor, and it's just pretty coincidence. And I quote Danny and say that Pine and I are the same person.
Yeah, it was brilliant when you were giving me your story and everything. You were telling me about this character you wanted to create and everything. I was like, oh my god, this is what Steel must have felt like.
This is familiar.
Yeah.
I want to hear more now. What are the other 2, if that's the first one?
Oh, the other 2 moments.
Yeah.
Well, the other moment, you know, Danny has just picked up DMing and is occasionally running Spelljammer.
Yas.
I loved the skyship, this like ethereal sea ship combat.
Did you know?
With all of us just like me jumping, like my character, my Minotaur jumping off the ship and like being picked up by the giant vulture and flying over to the other one, and then you just like running and jumping off the edge and then vamping onto the ship. And I was just like, oh my god, this is so great. I love it. So dynamic.
I don't know if you've actually ever paid attention to the logo of the original Erois campaign.
I haven't looked at anything Erois because you told me not to.
It's not like this campaign started on an airship, or, you know, has an airship in the logo, or has sky docks on the big important cities. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
No,
or,
not at all.
Even has potential to join the Astral Sea. I'm not saying anything. But very, very, very fun to hear. And I'm kind of jealous that Danny beat me to it.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good fun. That Minotaur I've only played for 2 sessions, but I just love the character already.
Yeah, I love my character in that campaign as well.
Yeah,
because I basically just copied one of the characters from Erois, because Danny was like, this is Spelljammer. You can be from any plane of existence or whatever. And I combine that with my background to make it so that I am from Erois. So I am a character in Danny's campaign that originated in the world of my campaign. So I can make up whatever I want about the backstory, and it's amazing. And also, I've made it so that he's the ancestor of one of the player characters of the original Erois, which isn't my Erois. Which means I get to imitate a bunch of the mannerisms of one of the PCs who was my favourite to watch. And also throw my own spin on it. So that's good fun. Yeah, I'll throw that in as one of my own player moments, because I get to speak like this. Oh, don't make me go with the riff-raff.
Your character is amazing, and one of the things I like about your character in that campaign is that they seem to have taken a liking to mine. Like,
we just met each other first, and then like this big catastrophe happened, and you let me jump on your bird. I was like, okay, I'm staying here. And also, because in his religion, elves were created by his goddess, which means any other elves, in particular astral elves, in his mind are fakes. So he's basically become racist against his own kind in the last session, which I think is hilarious. These astral elves, they're so terrible. I hate them, he says, as an astral elf.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It's great. I'm really looking forward to keeping on playing that campaign. It's good.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Again, I'm super jealous that you got to do the spaceship/airship battles first. That was my thing. Damn it, Danny. I'm joking, but also not funny joking. So that wraps up favourite moments, which means it's time to visit a certain little boy's past. Having left the cabin in the woods with a nice friendship formed and a little emotional goodbye. Well, I don't know why I'm doing the intro. Anyway, let us roll as dice. 2RP time.
Ka-chink, chink.
Hold on. Ready? I got this covered. I have no idea if that picked up, but I rolled some dice in front of the mic. Yeah, let's go.
So,
20
I
dice.
have... Huh?
20 dice.
Pass. There's a high potential for you need dice.
Because I never put my dice away anymore. They're always on my desk.
So, I've prepped this differently than I have prepped previous sessions. So this is going to be interesting for me.
Uh-huh. I mean, mine was different last time, but I don't know if it was different good or different neutral or different bad, but who knows?
Let's see how this goes. I hope it goes well. So, Erythor.
Hi.
You left Nina's hut in the early morning and spent the next day travelling towards the town that she had given you directions to. You've been travelling for most of the day, and the sun is quite low in the sky, but hasn't quite started setting yet. And you finally see the town on the horizon as you begin to approach. Crest a hill or something and see it, because it's not that far away. You can see it's made up of a variety of buildings, some made of stone, others of wood, and you see the occasional tent on the outskirts. There's a few large fields surrounding the village that have crops growing in some and fenced sections where cattle is grazing in others. Are you heading straight into the city?
I'm going to point myself towards as centre of the city as I can and just be like mumbling, don't trust everyone like I trusted Nina. Don't trust everyone like I trusted Nina. I got the dagger. Don't trust everyone. No, I've got to get the dagger, not got the dagger. Is that right?
Yeah, you've got to get a dagger.
Got to get a dagger to protect myself. Don't trust people. I'm just going to be like looking around the whole time.
You pass through busy streets, and the buildings here are only 1 or 2 stories high, and the village seems quite small. You see several buildings in mid-construction or seem to be in the middle of being improved from wood to stone. And eventually you enter what you assume to be the heart of the city. You see a village square filled with wooden market stalls with cloth over the top as shade. There is a variety of things on sale, such as food, meats, fruit, and crops, while others are selling utensils, crockery, plates, cups, and other such things.
Nothing selling weapons?
Have a look around. You see one of the stalls that doesn't seem to be selling weapons as much as like utility stuff, but they do seem to have a few daggers on their stall as well.
Question. Do I have any money?
You do not.
Okay. I would like to approach this stall and get the attention of whoever runs it.
Okay. You approach and you see a young male half-elf, pale, almost yellowy skin, brown eyes, and has a shaven head. Seems to be well built. Wearing simple clothes and like a leather apron.
How friendly is his expression?
Make an insight roll.
We'll kick it off with a 13, and I don't know if I'm adding any bonuses.
I'd say like the base bonus, which I believe is wisdom.
Let me just launch the right game, because I forgot to do that.
I think we need to, in prep for these sessions, have a separate character sheet. Yeah.
Insight is indeed wisdom, and I have a 2, so 15.
Okay, yeah. He seems to have quite a welcoming expression. He's open body language, trying to attract people to his stall.
Good day, friend.
Ah, good day.
And I want to make it obvious that I have both human and elvish features as well.
Ah, new face in town, eh? It's good to see another half-elf.
Indeed it is. How's the day for you?
Ah, the day's been going pretty well. Made a few sales. Managed to talk to some people.
Very nice. I am here to inquire how I might be able to make use of your services, despite the fact I have no money. Perhaps you have some jobs.
Just kind of gives you a look up and down. There's potential, but what is it that you are after?
Well, I'm just looking to carry a small blade in case I need to protect myself, either from some potential ruffians or just wildlife.
Yes, a handy tool.
This ring here, which might, hurt if I punch someone, but not really doing much.
Well, if you really need some money, that ring might be the easiest way to make some. There's always someone willing to take any interesting items.
Not sure I'm willing to depart with it.
Very fair. Very well. There's nothing I can think of off the top of my head. However, if you find your way here tomorrow morning, I'm sure I can find something, some way to put you to use for some, either for the dagger.
That would be much appreciated. In that case, I intend to be here tomorrow.
Yes, I will look out for you and think up something for you to do.
It's very much appreciated, I thank you. And then I turn away and think, I don't know what the hell to do with myself now.
Well, what are you going to do with yourself?
Look for... That's a good question. What am I going to do with myself? I'd probably try and make the same sort of pitch, but to someone who owns a tavern. So I'd probably look for a tavern and be like, can I do any work to be able to stay the night?
It doesn't take you long to find a tavern by the name The Hopeful Steed. You walk in and you see there's a fair few people sat around in this place. And you see a human, a woman behind the bar, short black hair tied up into a tiny pony at the back of the head, with a few loose strands coming down and framing her face, wearing like a simple long dress, and she seems to be serving drinks and talking to the customers.
I shall await a gap in her service and try and get her attention.
Wait a few minutes and she comes over and she's like, "How can I help you, honey?"
Hello. I'm new in the area. Just finished some traveling, and I'm looking for a place to stay. However, I'm in a bit of a pickle, and due to various circumstances, find myself with no money. So I was wondering if there are any favors, odd jobs, things like that I could help you with to earn my stay, if you have any place, of course.
She once again gives you a look over. Roll a persuasion check for me.
What are we adding to this? Base charisma?
Yeah.
14.
Well, not usually one to take anyone in, but we could use some help in the kitchen, I suppose.
Yes?
How good are you at skinning animals?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I just met this lovely lady in the woods in my travels, and she saw that I was a bit helpless and gave me a whole bunch of tips, and I've become quite handy with a few little tools, which I also don't happen to own. But if you give them to me, or loan them to me during the process, then I'll be able to use them.
Well, just come back here through that door. Follow me. She takes you into a back room, and behind, you see there's like a kitchen area, where just some dishes have started to be cooked, like vegetables have begun to be chopped, and you see like a graying male dwarf with like a long black hair and beard that have got like salt and peppered now with the greys, and he's darting around the kitchen like chopping things and then going to do pans and stuff, and takes a second to realize, and he goes, "Oh, hello, Myro, can I help you?" "Yeah, got a lad here who needs to earn a stay, so I was thinking he could help you out in here for tonight." "Huh. Don't look like there's much muscle on you, but I'm sure I can put you to use for something."
I do hope not to inconvenience you. As I said, your friend here, I've unfortunately arrived with no money, so just looking to earn my way.
"Sure, yes, you can help." And you are brought in. You have proficiency with daggers now. But this is gonna be cooking, so see how well you do. Yeah, just roll with your dagger, and we'll see. We'll take that.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I'm assuming the proficiency bonus is only 2 at this point.
Well, you gain proficiency with daggers and.
Yes, but proficiency bonus because I'm unleveled.
Oh yes, 2. Yeah.
That's a total of 9.
Ooh. Yeah, still not fully trained with the dagger. You know how to use it, but the cuts aren't as clean as the old male dwarf would like them to be, and gets a bit frustrated with you from time to time. It's not really one for cooking. It doesn't seem to be within your skills. So you help, but the dwarf definitely huffs and puffs at you a few times during the evening, and you work through the evening rush of people coming to eat. And as it slows down, he goes, maybe cooking isn't your strong suit, but I appreciate the help nonetheless."
I do sincerely apologise. I hope I haven't been too much of an inconvenience.
Fine. He slides over a plate that's got some meat and some veg on it. Well, it's been a long day and you haven't eaten, so feel free.
Oh my, thank you. You're most generous. And I give him a deep bow.
You're not from round here, are you?
Just above the table, so to speak. I'm totally playing up the posh voice. case you hadn't noticed. Just to make sure they don't think I'm some kind of scam artist or something. And just to come across nice and friendly. No, in fact, I don't really have an answer for that question. Seem to be having a spot of memory loss, actually. I could well be from down the road, who knows?
Well, there's not a lot of people who come by, kind of out of the way up here, so most people know the faces around, and I don't get to see as many back here, but might become obvious to some of those more seasoned folks out there that you're not from around here. Plus, we're not really we don't seem to be as posh as you.
Indeed. Well, that's not to say there's anything bad about that. But yes, I did notice I have this rather charming ring. Perhaps I should take this off and hide it. And as I say that, I will actually do that. I'll take the ring off and put it in a pocket.
Okay. Good to know. You're not given a very posh room for the night, but you are given sort of like some blankets and stuff in a storage space. And the woman who was serving drinks before goes, I'm sorry it's not much, but all our rooms are booked at the moment, but it's a place to stay.
No, you're quite right. I couldn't thank you enough, otherwise I'd be out in the cold. This is more than I could ask for. Thank you very much.
I appreciate your help in the kitchen. Bargrim sometimes gets a bit overwhelmed on an evening when we get busy, so...
Yes, do apologise to you once more. I may have made a couple of mistakes that made him a little frustrated there, but hopefully I benefited overall.
I'm sure you did.
Rather, I benefited you overall, I mean to say.
I guess I'll see you in the morning then.
Yes, thank you very much, and have a good night.
And to you. And you get a night's sleep. You are woken up by what sounds like someone in the morning opening up. Well, you hear what sounds like someone starting to get to work in the kitchen, and then you hear a couple of guests come down and start having their breakfast and such.
I would look to find the woman again. I do apologise, I'm terrible at remembering names. And I haven't been writing anything down.
That's okay. It was Myra.
Myra. Can I find Myra?
Yeah, she's as you come out of the room, you'd see her like serving some like breads to people.
Again, I'll wait for her to be free for a moment.
Oh, morning.
Good morning. Just wanted to ask, I am hoping to find a bit more honest and decent work today. On the off chance that I do manage to scrape together enough coin. You said you were fully booked last night. Do you have any openings this evening?
Bear with me 1 second. And she goes over, looks through her book. Yeah, we may, got one fella planning on leaving today, unless he rebooks. That room should be free.
Well, I will cross my fingers and hope it's still available when I return, and that I have some money, because, I wouldn't want to laugh in the face of your generosity. And hopefully I'll see you soon, if that's all right with you.
Oh, that sounds good to me. Says good luck, and she like tosses you like a small bit of bread.
I give her a big smile and a less deep bow, but still respectful one.
Nice. Nods her head back at you.
I will return to Mr. Knife Utility Placeman.
Roll me a perception check for me.
That's only an 11.
You travel through the busy streets and you get brushed past by a few people on your way, but you don't really notice anything in particular as you make your way to the merchant who you spoke to the other day.
Nice. I greet him with a wide smile.
Oh, welcome back.
Morning.
I've completely forgotten what kind of voice I did, but let's go with this. Yeah, I've figured out a couple of things you can help me with. For starters, it's just setting up the booth.
Oh, of course. Please, direct me away.
And you spend some time unpacking some of the goods, putting things out on the table. He gives you some little jobs to do, never really very far away so that he can keep an eye on you.
Mm-hmm.
But he keeps you busy. A couple of hours in, you're busy working, and you check your pocket and realise your ring is missing.
I know you were going to say that. Wish I'd specified in a pocket now, but oh well. Blast. When would that have gone missing? I'm saying this, mumbling this out loud to myself.
You okay there?
Of sorts. My ring. I thought to take it off because I thought it looked a bit inconspicuous, but it appears it's been nabbed anyway. I had it in my pocket, but it's gone.
That's unfortunate. There are a few pickpockets in town, but I'm not sure how I can help in that situation, unfortunately.
I suppose this is the sort of place that would have a shadier corner where people like this might hang out.
Not really something I am aware of myself, but you could always visit the sheriff and report a crime. Might be able to help.
I think I might have to. Completely above table again. This ring is the ring that becomes Erethr's magical focus.
Yep.
I don't suppose there's any spontaneous... Ooh, I can feel this presence of my ring because it's magic. Throughout the day at all?
Not really.
Oh, damn it.
You definitely feel, like, now that you've noticed, you may have put it down to just, like, being on edge in a busy place, but you definitely feel like something's missing.
Well, I think it would certainly plague my thoughts for the rest of the day, but I would finish the job. I wouldn't just leave. So I carry on working. Hopefully get that knife. Might come in handy. Dagger thing. I keep calling them knives. I keep calling them knives in D&D, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you finish up working for the evening. The sun is quite low again. You've gone through the day. He says, I appreciate your help for today, and here, have this. And he hands you a dagger, but also hands you... Let's see what's relevant. Probably, he hands you 5 silver as well.
Nice.
Which, to most people, will be like, that's not very much, but commoners jobs.
Fair enough. Once again, deep bow, words of thanks, and I think just, pleasant greetings of, enjoy your evening, have a pleasant night, goodbye. Erethr's not good at goodbyes, apparently. If it's not too late... Oh, actually, last thing I'll ask him. Could you direct me towards the sheriff's, or do you think he would not be taking visitors at this late hour?
Oh, no, yeah, he's up most of the time. It's just, if you just head around this corner, follow it to the left, and you should see it in front of you.
Perfect, thank you very much. And that's where I'm headed.
You head in that direction and you enter. You see like a place clearly marked sheriff's above it, like an old wooden building. And as you enter, you see sat behind one of the desks around, you see a tall, what you would assume to be a tall figure. They look tall from where they're sat. They seem to be dressed in like a long brown poncho and a large brown cowboy hat that's got 2 peacock feathers tucked into the brim of it. And he looks up to look at you as you enter, and you see the face is humanoid form, but made from a series of plates, and has two golden glowing eyes coming out of it. And they look up at you. And because we are very late into the podcast, that's why I'm going to leave it for this session.
Awesome. Although evil. How dare you steal my ring? How dare you? How dare you? Oh well. No matter what you say or do, I know I'm getting it back because I have it in the future, so.
Yep.
Wahaha, evil player laugh.
But how long will it take for you to get it back is the question.
I mean, if you make it take all 5 years, I'm going to cry. Or even the 2 years that you thought it was. No, I like it. Cool stuff.
The thing is, with these, we are essentially learning how to do short session RPs, like max 20-minute RPs. Just still figuring out how to do it, because all my prep is sandbox.
Crazy.
Normally. Yeah, but you guys, so you weren't there, but when I started our sessions, I'm just going to do this quick. When I started our sessions, I asked everybody what they wanted, and I was like, do you want more of a directed path, or do you want like a big open sandbox? Everyone was like, sandbox. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, on that amazing session by Pine,
Oh, thank you.
the podcast is over, and we shall see you next time, won't we, Pine?
Yeah, we will, and we'll finish up with a roll of the dice to a natural 20.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay then, bye.
Bye.
Right.
Left.
You didn't roll your L. You roll L's? Not really. That's the wrong
There's-
way around.
Left.
Left. How does it work?
Left.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking out my arse. Arse.
Arse.
Arse, as the
My
Scottish
arse.
say. My arse. That's a load of arse. And you know it.